Welcome to the Cave of Forgotten TV Shows. Today we're doing a movie. Yeah, the title does sound a bit crazy, but still, this is technically film and cartoons because the second segment of this will have me talking about the great story of Watership Down, a story about rabbits trying to escape from an evil tyrant who wanted to take over the whole of the fields and all sorts of other rabbit hutches. So I don't have to make two. I'll just tell you a brief thing about the story. The story goes that a bunch of rabbits decide to leave their home because it gets taken over by other rabbits from another warren. And horrifying to say, one of them can see visions of dreadful, despicable visions of the future. Hello everyone, Brightly Davis here with some important news. It is now time to tell you about why all the pictures have been tamed, because if you haven't seen this movie, trust me, you shouldn't watch it unless you're old enough to know about death. That's right, kids, I said death, because this film has lots of death in it. It's maniacally crazy, horrifying, and not right for you kiddies. And now I must tell you what you might see in the film. So kids, if you don't want to know what's in the film, you might want to click away. Are they gone? Good. Right, if they're still watching this, because I know you kiddies, it's time to tell you Watership Down. The PG, like it used to be. Right, I will do a list of all the stuff that you parents should keep an eye out in this film. But don't worry, the other series is alright. But now, no delays, here we go. Here is the list. Number 1. Rabbits get constantly killed in this movie. Trust me, if you haven't seen rabbit meat before, trust me, you do not want to know where it comes from. Second of all, rabbits die in this movie. Well, the heroes. Well, we don't really see what happens, but I'm not spoiling to the ending. This is no spoilers. Second of all, there may be a dog in it, but it's mad as crazy. Trust me, if you ever see a dog like this, don't pet it, because you'll end up losing your fingers. Anyway, also, if you don't know what World War II was, trust me, this film was sort of has the book. Apparently, this movie was based around a book. Apparently, the book is actually talking about camps during World War II. Sorry. But longly to say, or trust me to say, it ain't pretty. If you read about history, this movie tries to talk about the army camps during World War II, but I mustn't say why they existed, because, well, one, YouTube might take this video down, but more to the point, let's get back to the story. Other bits are executions. Yes, there are executions in this film. Well, rabbits, but second of all, there is a scene where a seagull, yes, a seagull, it's in the movie, watch the DVD, he picks out a bullet hole wound. Trust me, there's far more worse stuff in there. Rabbits getting hit by trains, they almost get hit by cars, there's maybe a dead fox in the road, or something, I can't remember what it was. More rabbits being maimed, creepy, horrible imagery, more rabbits dying, an almost rabbit war, and an epic fight scene that was so horrific that it has scratches and blood marks to prove it. Yes, this movie has some problems, but at least you grown-ups know what the difference between a kid's film is than this bloodbath. So remember, kids, if you want to see the movie, there's no link to it. Because trust me, you do not want to see what this film does to nature. But if you're wondering if I've seen it, in my eyes it's pretty good. But trust me, don't watch it if you're not old enough to know what blood shedding is. Right, on to the kid-friendly version. And trust me, if you've watched the movie and you're scarred about it and watching about me reviewing it, it's your own fault for watching it. Nostalgic fans of the original movie, look away now, because this ain't what you're looking for. This is the Watership Down kid-friendly one. And if you don't like it when somebody reboots a series or any series just to make more money or make something very kid-friendly, please look away now. But if you don't care, just look while we're watching! The series is exactly the same as the story, except there isn't that much violence. Trust me, if you can actually watch this at bedtime and it's not that scarring at all. It still has the same premise, a rabbit taking over other fields, warrens being turned into war camps, blah blah blah, but they try and stray it away from the story and make it more into a to be continued kind of stories. Series is pretty much the same. They threw in some other characters just because, well, you know kids' cartoons. They have to have characters that are annoying or adorable to keep them happy. Kids, rabbits, and all that stuff. They even have to throw in a mouse just for comedy relief. Yeah, you know all those characters from other shows and stuff, but even though they had to throw them in just because they know that if they don't, they'll end up being kicked off, and probably the series never got on TV because there was no toy line. Yes, I know that sounds a little bit harsh for the cartoon, but you know these days, you can't make a movie unless it sells plastic figurines that could be sold to kids, that kids will probably forget about 50 years from now, sell them on eBay, and vice versa. Heck, so many movies have done it, we've actually made an entire film franchise just about texting. Yes, you know, the Emoji Movie. Now it is time for the reviews. For the adult version of Watership Down, aka the first, I give it a 10 out of 5. It may be a little violent for little kids, but unless you're an adult, it's a-okay. And if you watched it when you were little, bad luck. It's just a thing. But if you want me to give my personal review on the kid-friendly version of this film, I give it a 10 out of 10. Because it's a film for kids and it's meant for kids. It was trying to cash in for the film, but at least it did something good about it. Sure, they had to throw in some stuff because it's like a checklist for them, but still, it was a thing that they must have to done. Bye! Your army bags, boys. The next review is Small Soldiers, a personal favorite of mine.